Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have the Jaxx Mesh. This is a cheap product from Five Below in terms of price, about $5.55 or so. But it does come with a bunch of features. Like one, it has an FM radio, and if you flip it over, just the usual specs. About an hour and a half to 2 hours of battery life. You see right here, charging time about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So that's the maximum. USB-C charger is included, which I'll show you guys in a moment. And it does have Bluetooth 5.3. Oh, lastly, 45mm drivers. And the buttons actually have different functions, which we'll go over shortly. With that being said, Jaxx really has been making some pretty decent speakers for the most part for the price tag, and hopefully this is another one. Let's unbox it together and find out. So here's the speaker right here. It's not a bad looking speaker. It does come in multiple colors. I ended up grabbing this one because I normally just do like solid black colors or white for the most part, and I kind of want to do something a little bit different. But you know, you can definitely tell that it's cheaply made, at least how it looks. I mean, it's sturdy enough. If I squeeze it, I don't feel like it's going to break or fall apart or anything. So that's a plus. It will sit like this because of the felt tips on the bottom, so it won't scrape the table or scrape whatever surface you have. You want to make sure that you protect your investment in general. Now, if we flip it over on the back, we do have the USB-C, which by the way, comes in a box right here, USB-C. Because it's exposed, I'm going to assume that this does not have any type of IP rating whatsoever. And it doesn't say it has one in the box anyway, so don't take it to the beach, don't go to the bathtub, protect yourself and your family. You do not want this near water, let's be perfectly clear. You have your volume up and down, as you can see right here. Let me kind of show you guys. Now these double down as two things. You can hold it and it's either going to change the song or change the volume, and you could tap it and it's either going to change the volume or change the song. That's the only functions that these buttons have, and I just gave it to you to make your life a little bit simpler and easier to understand what this thing does, the functions. Now, as for the multi button, this is actually the power button, and it doubles down as the multi button in order to change this to like FM radio. Now, I will try the FM radio for you guys in the video, but if it doesn't sound very clear, 9 times out of 10, it's probably the building that I'm in because I don't get the greatest reception in here. So with that being said, it's a solid speaker. Oh, also it does come with the instructions, which I want to show you guys in the next section, but I wanted you to just look at the craftsmanship real fast to see if this is something that worthwhile that you think. I mean, to each their own. I'm not here to judge it at the moment. I would let you guys actually be the judge of this product. So let's go over to the next section. Now, instructions are very, very important for anyone that needs it. What I'm going to do is open this up and kind of zoom in right here so you can see it. So you see right here where it shows you the power on and power off. You'll hold it for 3 seconds, the multi button, the M, for that amount of time. It shows you how to actually pair with it. The SP0238 speaker is the name of it. If you want to reconnect, it shows you how to do that right here. Charging your wireless speaker. Oh yeah, right, it is wireless. I keep forgetting that these speakers can charge up. It has a 2-hour battery life. Totally forgot about that. Bluetooth mode right here lets you pause, play. So if you long press is volume up and volume down. There you go. And short is to change the songs like we talked about before. And as a matter of fact, if you hit the multi-function 2 times, it changes it to FM radio. So that will be necessary. And it actually gives you the instructions of how to do this in radio mode, which we'll go over in a little bit. But that's pretty much it. And the other side, there's nothing there. So for the people out there, let me just show you one more time, kind of veer over. Make sure you guys screenshot this part just in case you lost this so you can have the instructions moving forward. Now, with that being said, let's see how to sync this bad boy in real time. So we're going to hold the multi button right here. All right, so it's powered on. There's no RGB lights or anything like that, except for the back, the blue light to let you know that this is in fact on. Because it's blinking, I'm going to assume it's in sync mode. Now this is funny. This is one of those free government phones, though that's how I got it. But apparently this came out in 2023, so if it's a little slow, it's understandable. Just bear with me. I'm gonna go to Bluetooth. Let's see what pops up. There we go, SP0235 speaker. That's exactly what we're looking for. So as soon as you turn this on, it automatically goes to pairing mode. So for the people out there, 9 times out of 10, if you unsync this to another device or have that device turned off and you turn the speaker back on, it'll probably automatically put itself back into sync mode, and then you'll be back at square one if you want to pass this on to somebody else. But that is the simplistic way in order to sync the speaker. There's nothing else really to say outside of that. If you guys do have any questions, always message me and I'll see what I can do. I am a little busy with multiple channels and work, but I'll try to make time for that. So here comes the important part. How does it actually sound? Personally, I never heard the speaker, so we'll be trying this together for the first time. I'm hoping this phone has a file manager. It does. I actually Bluetooth 2 songs that I normally use on here. I plan on making some music, which I did already, but I'm trying to make something perfected where I can use that as the music test moving forward. But for right now, we have Fire and Ice and Warzone. These are the songs that I normally use. Let's try Warzone first. All right, so let's say if I hold it in the back, it says if you hold it, the volume goes up. Yep, and it worked. That's pretty decent volume. The bass is lacking, definitely. All right, let me say this. The speaker does sound pretty good, but what I'm immediately noticing is if you ever heard Warzone, like in your headphones, you know that there's like little instruments and things playing in the song, and the clarity of the speaker isn't quite there when it comes to background noise. Again, background noise is all the little instruments that help build the song up. It's kind of like listening to Fireman from Lil Wayne. And then, no. Actually, matter of fact, what's that song about Future? I forget what it's called. I'm looking for. I play it all the time at home. For some reason, I can't think of it now. But with that particular song, it's like a melody in the background before the beat drops. You normally want a speaker to be able to play all the sounds and you can hear everything as the artist intended. Unfortunately, the speaker, even though it's very clear, you can definitely tell that the quality is lower than the usual bass Jaxx headphones, at least in my opinion, from the first initial listen. I'm going to play another song and let's test that out because this one actually has vocals. So let me play that. It's going to be Fire and Ice. Yeah, it just doesn't have that commanding power like the other bass Jaxx speakers have. Yeah, it feels really... I'm waiting for the vocals to drop before I do my assessment. The vocals sound fine. To be honest with you, the vocals sound very clear. The bass is below 50%, absolutely. And I'm going based on bass Jaxx standards. I'm not doing this based on any other headset, so understand where I'm coming from. The bass isn't there at all. The other speakers tend to have more thump and umph, and you can hear it in the room. The volume for this isn't bad, the max volume, but if you do have one other person in the room, you're having a conversation, I feel like you can probably drown out the speaker's audio, if we're being completely honest here. And even if you use this for, let's say, a video game system, I can't imagine it really having the quality and clarity that you want, especially with explosions and yelling and screaming. I play Tales of Vesperia. I'm doing that on a Switch right now. And them yelling their attacks is probably going to sound horrendous on a speaker because the audio quality just isn't up to par, in my opinion. It's not bad for $5.55. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's horrible, but I've come across other bass Jaxx speakers that just sound much better and much clearer than this one. Like when it comes to the background music, and by background, what I mean is like little instruments playing in the background, I feel like the vocals are really overpowering it and it just doesn't perform that well. Though what I will say is if it's that maximum volume, which I'm about to play, I'll show you in a second to make my point. Here we go. You're giving me wind away. Yeah, it gets a little muddled when it's at maximum volume. I haven't heard that in a long time in bass Jaxx headphones. Again, it's not bad. If you was to purchase this, I don't think you'll have an issue with the quality of sound as an overall because you are buying a cheaper speaker. So, you're not looking for the best in the first place. So I don't want to just shy people away from this. It's not horrible. But from the other speakers that I've done reviews on, I feel like this is a lower tier compared to theirs, even at the same price point. Let's put it that way. And it is under $7. So that's also something to be pretty proud of, because normally they sell speakers for $7, $8, $9, $10, $11 now, sometimes as high as $25, depending if you have 5 and beyond. But it's not a horrible speaker. I do like it a little bit. Anyway, let's go over to the last section. Is this actually worth the asking price? My bad, guys. I totally forgot that this has a FM radio, and I was about to close this video out to see if it's worth purchasing. So let me just flip this over and do the FM radio part. We're going to do that together with the settings. So it says right here, in order to do the FM radio, you are supposed to tap twice in order to go to the FM radio, and 3 times to search for channels. So double tap. FM radio. All right, let's turn that down a little bit. And triple tap in order to search. 1, 2, 3. Is it searching? It looks like it's looking for all the stations. So I'm just gonna give it a second.
It a little bit smaller.
Okay. So it's searching all the stations. Then you can still do the volume up, volume down by long pressing. And if you hold the press button, like before, like if you were to change songs, same process, you would actually change the radio station. So that's actually pretty cool. And right now it's just searching stations. Now, if you double tap it, it'll go back over to Bluetooth mode, and then it'll reconnect to whatever phone or device that it's connected to. So that's not bad. Now, again, unfortunately, I wasn't really able to let you guys hear the clarity of the radio. It's just not possible from where I'm working. Now, what I will say is I did actually take this outside. Before I showed you guys how to actually connect that, I took it outside on the balcony where I work, and I did try the speaker out when it comes to searching, and it was much clearer, much sharper, and I was actually able to hear the FM radio stations. Granted, I don't know all of them because I haven't listened to the radio in a bazillion years, but nevertheless, it does work for the people that want to use the FM radio. The real question is, depending on if you have interference where you live, you may have some issues with the radio, but realistically, most people are probably buying this for the Bluetooth itself. And, you know, most of us have radios on our phones or some type of streaming service. Realistically, that's what you're going to be using. But at the end of the day, it does work. It's not a bad feature. Now we can close out this video. So the question is this worth the asking price? Now, I like I said, I paid maybe like $5 and some change for this. At the time, I believe it was $5.50. After taxes, probably like 6 something. So it is pretty affordable. Now, granted, given the technology that's inside of it, Bluetooth 5.3, you get 2 hours of maximum of battery life. It takes just as long to charge it as it does to use it, which for some people that's going to be a problem. For us people that are used to fast charging products, but for everybody else that doesn't care, I don't think it's really going to be a big deal for you because you're not going to drain this battery out immediately anyway. And you do have the FM radio that does in fact work in better conditions. Like I said before, the radio for my job is just not that good, and I'm reviewing this at work currently before my shift starts to make life a little bit easier for me. Because listen, it's exhausting doing videos as soon as you get home. I'd rather do it at work where I'm already working. The point is, it's not a bad speaker. Now, when I compare the sound to other Bluetooths that I've done that were also bass jacks, understand I'm only doing bass jacks. I'm only comparing it to those. This does not excel. The sound does not outdo those other speakers. Yes, this can get pretty loud for the most part, but I do feel like with a conversation with one other person, you can kind of drown out the speaker to maximum. You're definitely not going to notice it playing music until you stop speaking, and you might hear the music in the background after that. It's not meant to be a party speaker. It's not meant to be a speaker that fills up most of the room. These are personal speakers when you're laying down, you're going somewhere, you're sitting in front of a computer, you're on your phone, and you don't want to use your phone speaker or blow it out. That's what these are typically good for, and I think it does a very good job at that. Though the sound does suffer when it comes to music, the quality just isn't quite up there. And again, I'm not comparing it to anything else except for the other BassJax products that I have in fact reviewed. But again, $5, $5.50, $6 in taxes, you're really not going to go wrong. It's not a bad buy. Anyway, like and subscribe like always, guys, and I will see y'all in the next video.